Hey, e-commerce Fastlane listeners, thanks for tuning in today. Just before we get started, today's show is made possible by our friends at Support Zebra. Now, you can grow your Shopify-powered business with Support Zebra's outsourced services tailored specifically for direct-to-consumer brands. They're trusted by hundreds of startups, including some of the biggest and fastest-growing D2C retailers. They excel in managing many critical functions such as sales conversion, cart abandonment, customer retention, order tracking and returns, live chat, failed payment recovery, and even email ticketing. They manage your pre- and your post-purchase customer service experience. This allows you and your team to more focus on your core operations. With Support Zebra, you're not just outsourcing, you're actually extending your team with highly skilled English-speaking agents who are ready to serve your customers across multiple channels in all time zones. Stop the worry of scaling customer service and improve your customer support experience while slashing costs by 50%. You heard me right, 50% lower costs on the pre- and the post-purchase customer service experience, all through supportzebra.com. Now, a huge thanks to Support Zebra for sponsoring today's episode. And now, let's shift gears and welcome our next sponsor, retention.com. Are you looking to recover more lost shoppers on your Shopify store? Retention.com is here to help you with their identity resolution software that significantly improves your Klaviyo Flow revenue by 2 to 3x. Now, they help expand your email list by identifying over 80% of your anonymous website visitors. And get this, even if they haven't filled out a form. Now, retention.com knows these potential customers and shares their email address in a thanks for visiting our site Klaviyo sequence. You can lower your acquisition cost, you can acquire more customers, and you can skyrocket your revenues. I highly recommend retention.com to turn your anonymous shoppers into revenue. Now get a quick demo and a special trial offer at ecommercefastlane.com/retention. That's ecommercefastlane.com/retention. A big thanks to our sponsors for supporting the show. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder, and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
Well, welcome to E-commerce Fastlane. I'm your host, Steve Hutt, and today we're joined by a very special guest, Ginzburg, who's the founder and CEO of a company called Gipht, Gipht. It's the Gipht app, and it's a solution really that's revolutionizing the corporate gifting landscape. In this era of remote and hybrid work culture, the Gipht app really does stand out as a very unique solution that's tackling the corporate gifting problem. Imagine the simplicity of sending a tangible token of appreciation or even a celebratory gift without needing to have a shipping address. And that's the convenience of the Gipht app, where a simple email or a text message becomes your method of expressing your gratitude, your recognition, or even condolences. But there's more to the Gipht app than just convenience. It's about fostering genuine human connection in the corporate world, whether it's showing client appreciation or rewarding employees. The Gipht app really ensures that your gestures of goodwill are delivered effortlessly. And they're also committed to supporting local, craft, and artisanal merchants, both transforming the gift into a unique narrative and an unforgettable experience. So join us today as we unpack the story behind the Gipht app, explores innovative features, and understand how it's transforming the way Shopify merchants are approaching gifting. So stay tuned for a very insightful conversation that you do not want to miss. Well, hi, Gin, and welcome to E-commerce Fastlane.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm very excited about sharing what Gipht is about with you and your audiences.
Now, I mentioned it at the top of the show, but it's always best in the founder's own words. So maybe to start us off today, can you briefly describe your Shopify app and some of the problems that you're solving today?
Absolutely. I would love to share what Gipht is all about. First of all, thank you for that lovely introduction. in the beginning of the podcast about what we do and what Gipht is. I think that really captures what Gipht is all about. It's not just about sending gifts, it's not just about the tool is there to send the gifts, but really it's about connection. It's about gratitude. It's about saying thank you in the business world. And so it's a Shopify app called the Gipht app or Gipht, if you look it up on the Shopify App Store. And the premise behind it is that it allows senders to send physical gifts with just an email address or text message without knowing the shipping address.
Now, as you know, every company has roots and a founding story. Can you share maybe the journey of the Shopify Gipht app and the inspiration behind its inception?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really good story, I think. So it started about 2.5 years ago. So this is about mid 2021. So post pandemic, that's a key point here because of why Gipht was created. So at that time, I had a digital marketing agency, which I still have to this day. And I was having trouble sending physical gifts to business colleagues or clients or partners because a lot of them were working from home. And, certain people that I'm maybe really good friends with, I have no problem asking for their physical address or their home address. But on certain occasions, it got a little bit awkward to ask for a physical address for someone's actual home address. So I started thinking about, is there a solution out there that actually does that, where you can send a gift using the email or the text message at the notification? And I looked and didn't really find a solution that I thought was applicable or I thought was what I needed. And so I decided to create my own solution. And that's how Gipht was born. So it really came out of the pandemic, people working remotely and wanting to have that sense of connection and gratitude with your business partners or business colleagues. So that's how the Gipht app was started.
Now, if you search the Shopify App Store or even Google for that matter, you're going to reveal some notable peers, I'd say, in the gifting space. So given that, how does the Gipht app set itself apart? What's the unique value does it bring to Shopify brands, maybe compared to the alternatives that are available?
Well, like I mentioned in my previous question, when I was creating the Shopify app or thinking about creating the Shopify app, I didn't really find too many solutions. And when I looked in the Shopify App Store, I didn't find any solutions. And to this day, we don't have any competitors that do what we do. So send gifts with just an email address or phone number. Now, there are competitors in the marketplace. They're not on Shopify. They are set up differently. There are platforms like Goody or Snappy or Zest Gifts that are basically just a marketplace. So those marketplaces work with merchants. It could be on Shopify. They could be on any platform. It doesn't really matter. But they are a marketplace and they are walled garden because they basically take those products from the merchants and then put them on their own ecosystem, on their own marketplace. And so what we wanted to create was something that was already within the Shopify ecosystem without taking your user, through the merchant, taking that user off the Shopify ecosystem. So that's where we felt like the benefit was for merchants, right? You don't have to work with a third party in order to sell your gifts. You can do that all on the Shopify platform. And the other piece that for merchants, which we thought was very, very beneficial, is that with these other third-party marketplaces like Goody or Snappy, there's typically a long integration process with the merchant. And our Shopify app takes 10 minutes to install. Because we developed it on the Shopify platform, we had to test it on the Shopify platform and had to go through many, many iterations of testing, making sure that we got everything approved by Shopify. It's a public app on the Shopify App Store. So we had to do all the testing up front and the integrations up front without having to do that on the back end for the merchant. So the merchant can go to the Shopify App Store, find the Gipht app, and then install it in 10 minutes. We also have text that will help you install the Gipht app very quickly and easily. So we're here to help.
Now, our listeners are deeply committed to driving growth and retaining customers. And from your vantage point, what strategy or tactic would you recommend today for Shopify brands that are aiming to either enhance revenue, profit, or even customer loyalty?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, that's really the reason why we created the app, is because we want merchants to grow their sales with gifting for holidays or any other occasion, the Gipht app really makes sense a lot for the holidays, and we can kind of go more into the details of why the holiday time frame is really the more important one. But it's really applicable for thank you gifts, for team members, for appreciation gifts. And with some of our merchants, we've seen sales increase by up to 7%. The other point of the Gipht app is recapturing abandoned cards. So we've done our research and we have found that up to 15% of users, according to a study, abandon their cards because they don't have the shipping address or don't have it handy. And so if we can help the merchants who are listening to this podcast recapture 15% of their sales, that's a huge deal, especially for the holidays. And in terms of how we also can help merchants, so for corporate gifting or any merchants who do corporate gifting, we have the bulk ordering feature. Basically, you or your customers can upload a CSV file of names and email addresses or phone numbers. And so your corporate clients don't have to hunt down for shipping addresses. I know back in the day before the pandemic, even when my clients were working from offices, it was still challenging to go through and have to find shipping addresses, even if it's to the office, from 50, 100 clients. And so with our technology, you can upload a list, names and email addresses and send a gift or bulk gifts within just minutes. And same thing for friends and family, right? For sending gifts for the holidays. So you can send multiple gifts to many members of your family or friends in just mere minutes without having to make a list or a list of shipping addresses.
Now, Gene, our audience really values real life success stories. So could you share a Shopify store's journey that maybe they face a challenge with their corporate gifting strategy and then how the Gipht app was instrumental in helping them grow and scale that channel?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to share a case study about a specific merchant that we have been working with. So we have seen for all of our merchants a boost in sales using the Gipht app because it's basically a way to recapture users who want to purchase a gift or a product from your shop, but might not have the shipping address. So we just make it very easy to create gifting campaigns or gifting projects. So the example is a corporate gift box merchant that we've been working with since the beginning. They've actually really an integral part of creating the app and providing the corporate gifting box merchant has been providing a lot of feedback on how best for merchants to interact with the app. And really the problem that we were solving for the corporate gift box merchant is that her clients were asking often for an easy and seamless solution for gifting. And a lot of times they just didn't want to spend hours and hours looking for shipping addresses, especially around the busy holiday season. And so we worked with the corporate gift box merchant to install the app and saw her shop increase sales by 7% using the Gipht app. So that was a really important, I think, initial indicator of that there is a market for this solution and that corporate buyers want to have a solution that's seamless and easy for their corporate gifting campaigns and projects.
Now, every industry has its narratives, some maybe misconceptions. And as an expert, though, in your field, what myths would you like to address or debunk today?
This is actually a very good question. I like it a lot because there are not so many, but there are a number of myths around this space, right? Because it is a new space. We have been trained to buy gifts with a shipping address for as long as e-commerce has been around, right? The process is you go on a merchant's website, you pick your gift, you add it to your cart, you go through checkout, you put in the shipping address, you put in your credit card, transact it, and then the merchant ships that gift, right? That's how everything's been ingrained in our minds for as long as e-commerce has been around for 20, 25 years. Well, this is a new way to send gifts. And so one of the myths that people kind of come to me about, they're always like, well, it's not possible to send physical gifts with just an email address. And I say it's absolutely possible with our technology. All you have to do is send that notice. So buy that, purchase that gift, but send the notification to your recipient via email or text message without having to input a shipping address. And then the recipient can then put in any shipping address that they want. That could be their home address. Maybe they're vacationing in Aspen for the holidays. So they don't want to ship it to their home address in Texas and they want to ship it to their holiday home in Aspen. And so the merchant can ship that anywhere in the United States. And so that's one of the myths, is just not being able to send physical gifts. The other myth comes from merchants. And the myth is, I can't install new apps because it will take weeks and slow down my website. That is often, we get that often. Typically, that is the pushback that we get from merchants, is that, oh, this is going to be such a long integration process. Oh, I don't have the time for this. Oh, my IT department is backed up. This is just going to take too long. Or when I do install it, it's going to slow down my website. So debunk that myth. I'll tell you, our app has been tested already by Shopify. It's a Shopify public app. And so we did all the testing on the back end. And in terms of installation, it takes 10 minutes to install our app. You can do it yourself, or we also have a support tech who can help you install the app. And she can probably do it in 5 minutes because she's been doing this for so long and has installed so many apps. And also in terms of slowing down my website, absolutely. We have addressed that when we were testing out the Shopify app. It's really is not on your website. It really is a third-party platform in a way that allows users to use the app, but it's not like sitting on your website. It's a very small piece of code that actually sits directly on your website, but all of this is done through AWS on the back end, so it does not slow down your website. So I just wanted to address and debunking these myths.
You mentioned bulk orders during our chat today. Can you share a little more detail about bulk orders and exactly how it works?
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to share more about the bulk ordering feature. And this is a feature that has been requested the most by corporate gifting merchants, especially because it's such an easy way and seamless way to send gifts to hundreds or dozens of people, recipients, within just minutes. So typically the way it was set up before through a regular process is that, if I'm the sender of a gift and I have 100 gifts to send to my 100 clients, I would have to purchase one, basically do this kind of piecemeal and do it one at a time. So I add the gift to my cart and then I put in a shipping address and I complete the transaction. And then I add the gift to my cart again. I put in a second shipping address and then I transact it and so on and so forth, right? So it's very time consuming, not only to find the shipping addresses, which is time consuming in itself, but actually time consuming to transact all those 100 transactions going to 100 different shipping addresses, right? And so our system does this within minutes. And so if I'm the sender, I would go to the merchant's website, I would pick out the gift, I would add it to my cart, then click our button, which is the gift button. And once that button is clicked, it goes to our landing page where we have the capability to add in multiple recipients. We call it multiple recipient. To click the multiple recipient button. And from there, you can upload a CSV file with names and email addresses or phone numbers. Our system will actually pick up both and they'll recognize whether it's an email address or phone number. And we'll use the system to either send out an email or a text message and notifying the recipient that the sender sent them a gift. So this can be done and hundreds of gifts can be sent within minutes without having to go and transact each individual transaction with every new shipping address. So that makes things so much easier, both for the senders and for the merchants without having to hunt down shipping addresses or having to transact one at a time or transaction. So this is a feature that we are very excited about for the holiday season.
You hear a lot about undeliverable packages, return to sender, these sort of things. So what happens if the recipient doesn't accept the gift?
I'm glad you asked that question, and I will address what happens to the gift if the recipient does not accept it in a minute. But before we do that, I wanted to address the first part of the question, which is return to sender or undeliverable packages. And this is exactly also what the Gipht app sells for, right? Because our notifications are sent through email or text, those are more likely to be received. So those notifications go to the recipient and the recipient then accepts the gift and puts in their own shipping address, right? There are no issues with sending the package to the wrong office, or because the recipient is working remotely, or sending it to the wrong house, because the recipient is on vacation or away for the holidays, or having a typo in the shipping address, right? All of those issues are the typical reason why, or reasons why those packages get, go return to sender or get undelivered is because, typically that person's not there, or probably a typo in the address. So we specifically address that because the recipient accepts the gift and they put in whichever address they want. And since they're always inputting the address, typically there's not going to be a typo in there or an error. And then in terms of what happens to the gift if it's not accepted. So in the event that the recipient doesn't accept or doesn't receive that email, everything is automatically refunded in 10 days. So throughout the 10-day period, throughout the 10-day window that the recipient has to accept the gift, we send emails on a regular basis so that the recipient sees them. In the event the recipient doesn't see them, or maybe that email went to spam, we do have the capability for the sender to copy a link to that gift and then send that link to the recipient through another channel, perhaps text or through social media. And then at that point, that goes directly to our landing page where the recipient can then add in their shipping address. So we do have a couple of ways to get around it in the event maybe the recipient hasn't seen that email. And the other piece is that all of the orders, the sender gets status updates of when the gift was accepted, when it was shipped and fulfilled, and when it was delivered. So we do have status notifications for senders throughout the entire process.
I have another question around your app and how it's different from a gift card. Can you maybe explain a bit? I know it's physically shipping product as a corporate gift, but I just would like to understand the difference between somebody sending a gift card to them versus maybe the benefits of a physical product being sent to them.
I like that question about gift cards because we're a kind of anti-gift card when it comes to our gift app. We feel that gift cards are kind of an impersonal gift. Really, the idea with a physical gift is that you're sending something meaningful, right? It's also really designed for the recipient to receive. Maybe it's something that they like or enjoy, maybe they like coffee. And so as the sender, I might send them a box of coffee or artisanal coffee or something like that, right? It's really that gesture. It's that meaning behind the gift. It's not just like, here's a gift card, do whatever you want with it, thanks. We really at Gipht want to have that connection between the sender and the recipient. And that's why we feel like physical gifts are so much better, because it's really it's like that excitement as a kid when you open up a gift. Like we all have that. We're like, oh my God, I got a gift today. That's just that feeling of appreciation, which I feel like gift cards don't have that kind of feeling. When you receive a gift card, you're like, oh, okay. So conceptually, they're kind of similar, right? Like you're sending some sort of gift, but we definitely feel like those physical gifts are much more appreciated. So don't send a gift card this holiday season. Send an actual physical gift to your recipient with the Gipht app.
Now, Shopify brands need partners who are both current and forward-thinking. And with your expertise, what can users expect from the Gipht app this holiday season and beyond?
We are super excited about rolling out the full feature Gipht app for this holiday season in 2023. So, like I said in the beginning of the podcast episode, is that this started a couple years ago. We just kind of historically, we rolled out beta last year. So that's since holiday season 2022. And we tested it out with a small number of merchants just to, first of all, test out the app, but also test out the user experience and get feedback from merchants and users. And so we're super excited about rolling out all of the features, pertinent features for the Gipht app for holiday season 2023. We just recently rolled out bulk orders, so sending the gifts to multiple recipients and the text messaging feature. So those are all available and ready to go for the holiday season in 23. Kind of as thinking ahead, something that I've been really excited about, and really the idea behind this Gipht app, right? There's like stepping stones where we are now, but eventually what I would love to do is I've always wanted to truly give thoughtful and meaningful gifts and create personalized gifts for end users. Not necessarily just personalized gifts with like someone's logo or my logo on it or anything like that, but actually personalized gifts in the sense of like based on people's interests, right? So maybe I like coffee and red wine and dark chocolate. And so creating gifts based on each individual's preferences or, personalization. And so I think that's what really the future holds for the gifting industry in that, the next few years.
As we wrap up today's show, are there any key insights or any final thoughts that you would like to share with our listeners?
Well, first of all, Steve, thank you so much for having me on the show. This has been great. I really love chatting with you and sharing more about the Gipht app, not just about the app itself, but really, sharing why we wanted to create this Gipht app. Yeah, again, it's not just about sending gifts, it's not just about shipping product. Like you said earlier, like that's really, yes, that is kind of the basics of it, but really it's about creating connection with people. It's about saying thank you. It's about appreciation. It's about gratitude. I think about this kind of as my business, not just the Gipht app, but also, like I said, my digital marketing agency. It's like, I wouldn't be here without clients, my partners, my team members, colleagues in the industry. It's really showing that gratitude and appreciation and saying thank you, which beyond just like a gift card, but actually something that's meaningful and thoughtful coming from Shopify merchants and those products coming from Shopify merchants. So with the holiday season coming right up here, it's coming up in less than a month, make sure to install the Gipht app for your corporate holiday gifting for your clients. It just takes 10 minutes. And of course, we're here to support and help you. If you need any help with installing the app, and we're just here to support and help you. And if you have any questions for us after you install the app, we are very responsive and we're here to support our merchants because that's really how our business is made. We're here to support both merchants and our end users.
So, Gene, what would you recommend as the next steps for listeners who are keen to kind of tap into your expertise in this corporate gifting and learn more about maybe how Gipht app could actually help their strategy and their channel growth?
Yeah, Steve, I think the next best steps are if you are a corporate gifting merchant who is listening to this podcast, we have a great solution for you. So my recommendation is to go to the Shopify App Store and look for the Gipht app. It's a public app and it's spelled Gipht to play on the word gift, and install the app. It's absolutely free to the merchant to install. You can also check out our website, which is gipht.io, and our social media. We feature a lot of merchants on our social media and talk also a lot about how our app works and really what it's designed for. So check us out there.
Before we conclude today's episode, I know we chatted in the green room before recording today, and I understand that you would like to offer a special treat for our listeners. Could you share some of the details of that exclusive offer?
Yes, Steve, anybody listening to the podcast here, we have a great offer for your listeners. So the Gipht app is free to merchants, but what we're offering to everybody here is our support tech will install this app for free for you. And it will take, like I said, probably 5 minutes for our support tech to do it. It might take a little bit longer for, if you're doing it on your own, but the special offer is that we're giving out free support to install the app. All you have to do is give us collaborator access to your shop, and then our support tech will do the rest. And so it seems like a pretty easy, seamless solution for anybody who is a Shopify gifting merchant. So we'd love to get in touch with you. Just email support@gipht.io, and we'll add that email in the show notes to get the Shopify Gipht app installed on your shop for free.
Now, Shopify's mission is to make commerce better for everyone, and it's clear that you and your team are tightly aligned with that vision. Your contributions to helping Shopify brands and the partner ecosystem are extremely impressive. I want to thank you so much for sharing your story, your expertise, your insights with us today. Our community just is going to dig this episode, I can guarantee it. And it's been an absolute genuine pleasure having you on the show today.
It's been such a pleasure being here with you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm super excited about our Gipht app and sharing this with your merchants. And thank you for letting me share my story and for letting me share why this app is, I think is awesome, but having the platform like your podcast to share that. So I really appreciate you, and I appreciate being here.
Well, that wraps up today's episode of E-commerce Fastlane. Thanks for being a loyal listener. We produce this podcast really to arm you with the growth strategies, actionable tactics, and kind of insider tips from the best of the Shopify ecosystem. And, each episode really is crafted to edge you one step closer to growing and scaling a wildly successful direct-to-consumer brand. Your investment in time and listening and learning is deeply valued. And knowing that you possess a growth mindset and are a constant learner truly is inspiring. And I appreciate your journey, whether you're a founder or a marketer. Now go on, enjoy the rest of your week, and keep thriving with Shopify.